Hi, this is Neil's on Dynasty, coming to you live from the basement. Like, share, and subscribe. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Be kind, helpful, and grateful. Buy some silver, buy some platinum, and get yourself some crystallized osmium in jewelry or outside of jewelry. Make your own jewelry. The profit potential there is greater than all of the. It's the eighth precious metal. I'll go into it more in my live streams down this year. I'm going to be a crystal osmium dealer and a jewelry maker of crystallized osmium this year as well. But that's not what this is about. This is about China still collapsing but hasn't gone bankrupt yet. It's so old. You guys are sick. The PM people are sick of waiting for precious metals to go up. I'm sick of waiting for China to go bankrupt. All these signs they give, accepting watermelons as down payments for houses. When here in America, they say, oh, the economy's going bad if they start offering incentives for renters, like 1 month free rent. Well, how bad is your economy if you accept watermelons as down payments for houses? I did a show, CCP was accepting watermelons for houses last year. So, according to our standards of how we apply standards to ourselves, they're crashing. And here's another story of them crashing.
Car sales have just completely collapsed. I mean, completely collapsed. I'm absolutely in shock. BYD's EV sales have hit their lowest point in 2 years. This is just truly boggles the mind. I mean, 2 years ago, BYD had nowhere near the number of models they have today. The prices were nowhere near as good as what they are today. BYD had half the number of electric cars. Inventory was far less. Their product was nowhere near as good. The product today is way, way better. The prices are incredibly affordable. BYD have just reduced prices for every single model they sell. In fact,
Okay, he just said their prices are incredibly affordable. Right now, they're only selling in China, so they're undercutting the price in China to the Chinese people. Keep that in mind. Listen to the story.
Some of them a number of times, and all of a sudden, their sales have just catastrophically collapsed. This is what happens, though, when you primarily rely on one country for your sales. In China, there is literally a war going on, but not just a war. There is what the CEO of XPeng said is literally a bloodbath. And this bloodbath has hit BYD. Now, I have warned that this could happen. I have warned that this was likely to happen at some point in time because, yes, BYD are making some efforts to sell EVs in Australia, in Thailand. They're doing well there. But they have not taken their efforts to expand into Europe seriously. Now, I know there's been a report recently saying, oh, there's a cargo ship with BYDs that's rocked up in Europe. Wow, there's 5,000 electric cars. That's really good news. But until BYD actually prices their cars affordably in Europe and promotes them in Europe, they're not going to sell. They haven't been selling. Guys, BYD sales in Germany, which is the biggest EV market in Europe, they're virtually nothing. And I mean, they have had models for sale. They're just too expensive.
Hold on a second. Earlier, just 2 minutes ago, he said it was the most affordable car. I iterated in China for sales to China. But when the Chinese take their sales products to other countries in Europe, they ramp the price up. It's kind of reminiscent of what Tesla did when they started raising their prices and then they dropped it overnight, $20,000. It's called fleecing people. And what China was hoping for was that they would be able to make no money but continue their company to growth without a profit by selling to everyone in China to make the charts that everyone goes by charts, to make the charts, to manipulate the charts to look good. So that way they could take them over to Europe, quadruple the price, whatever, however much they expensive is the word he used. They're too expensive. They're cheap in China and too expensive in Germany. That is a price differential problem. That is a greed problem. That is a thoughtful process of a company looking to fleece Europe. and give everything to their own people, continuously taking from the world for their own use. That's what China did, and they got caught with their britches down. And now this company, the largest EV company in China, is going to go bankrupt. They just laid off all their workers. I did a show day before yesterday. They just laid off all their workers. They bought robots to replace those workers. The end of this year, they'll probably be bankrupt. It's selling those robot auto workers to the American car companies for pennies on the dollar, affecting American auto worker industries later this year, next year for sure. Amount of people they actually employ, because they'll have gotten these robots extremely cheap from China's car industry that the Chinese have just now purchased. Basically, what's happening, if you know anything about history, back in the 80's, Japan bought 90% of the real estate in Hawaii, and everyone was crying that the Chinese or the Japanese won World War II because they just bought up Hawaii and they owned everything. They owned Pioneer, they owned Sony and Mitsubishi and all these great number one companies. But then they went bankrupt, and American companies bought it all for 10 cents on the dollar. It was the greatest economic advantage ever gained. That is coming again, but it's going to be China's it's going to collapse, and Americans will have an opportunity to benefit again. That is my prediction here at Neil Hahn's Dynasty. Anyhow, let's get back to the story.
So BYD right now is relying on its EV sales in China, its car sales in China. 95% of its vehicle sales are in China.
Where they're
as
cheap.
a result, its stock price is going to take a big hit. There's no other way to put it, because this performance is truly shocking. Now, sales in January were pretty disappointing as well. Not horrendous, because they were better than January of last year, but sales in February are truly astoundingly bad. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. Sam Evans, you're watching The Electric Viking. Great to see you. I did make a video yesterday. Should point this out.
Anyhow, that's The Electric Viking. He is a good dude to subscribe to. I do not want to be plagiaristic and take any of his information and claim it to be mine. I narrate over what he's saying, letting you know a better overall picture of what's happening to the Chinese collapsing market. Do not invest in China right now. Wait till they go bankrupt. In my opinion, unprofessional, non-financial advice. I don't know crap. I'm seeing Japan 1980 all over, not 1980s all over again, where they owned everything. We thought they were going to take over the world, and then within a year they were bankrupt, and so many Americans that were ready to buy all that shit for pennies on the dollar became wealthy as heck. That opportunity is going to be coming again. I suggest you look and do your own research, and make sure that the wheels on the bus actually go round and round, and history actually does repeat. Everything that we've been told, it's blindly, blatantly in your face that it's going to happen. It's just you get tied up in the political bullshit of what the Biden idiocracy is doing in the White House, and it sidetracks you from making money, which is what they're trying to do. They're trying to sidetrack you, because one of the greatest opportunities of our generation to make money is fixing to occur probably this year, at the latest, earliest of next year, when China collapses again. It'll be very reminiscent of when Japan collapsed. Their financial system collapsed in the 80's, when they owned Mitsubishi, Pioneer, all these great companies, and 90% of the Hawaiian real estate, and they bought it at high dollar. And what happened? Their economy crashed, and we bought it all back, about 10 cents on the dollar. History repeats, people. Don't fall for the charts. Don't fall for the geopolitical stuff going on right now to throw you off of your game. If you want to make money, look at history, take the blinders off, step outside the box, look in it, and see what exactly is going on and how reminiscent that this pattern is with other patterns in the past. Of course, everything gets bigger through time because we have more people through time, but the patterns remain the same. Hop on board the pattern train. Look for them. Get on board them. Ride them to their success. Don't listen to naysayers who say everything's going to end, we're all going to die, America's going to hell. No, we're not. It's just your perception, and it's wrong. Have a good day. Bye-bye.